This is Sandy with a little bit of glitter, and today I'm making a Valentine's Day card with Fawn's new release, Porcu-Pine for You, and the Magic Iris Heart add-on. You can follow me at alittlebitofglitter.com or on my Instagram at Sandy Cogdill. Hit subscribe if you'd like to be notified of future videos. I plan on doing more in the future. Let's get started. All of the pieces for my magic iris. I've got my 3 donut shapes, my 3 little sausage shapes, my 3 tabs, and then the 1 pull tab, which is the piece that makes the mechanism work. So I've got this cut out. I'm going to put my 3 little sausage pieces in those little slots there, go all the way around, and then I take a mini glue dot, and I put it on each one of the little X's that the die is cut for me, so I know where to place those. I go ahead and I put a donut shape on top of that. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue tape on each side. There's a perforation there. You can't see it in the video, but it tells me where to put that glue tape. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue halfway down on that pull tab piece. I'm going to place it on top of that donut right next to a tab. Put some more glue down. I'm going to put that 3rd donut on top, and then I'm going to lightly fold over those tabs. Not so tight the mechanism won't move. I'm going to pull it over, and then I'm going to give it a test. I highly recommend going to Fawn's website, and on the Magic Iris, they have a great tutorial that shows you exactly how to make that mechanism move. I'm going to go ahead and glue down my plate that I have it nice and even with the right side so that the tab is straight with the edge. Now I'm going to place it on my mat there. I'm going to cover up the tab because I want to do some stenciling on the top, and I don't want the tab stenciled. So I'm using the Fawn Lots of Hearts background stencil with Candied Apple Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going over the whole thing with the mechanism closed. So I'm actually stenciling on top of the iris part in its closed position, and I'm just being really careful when I'm going around that one area and making sure that my card and my stencil isn't moving. Just going around and making sure I'm giving a nice solid coat of the red ink. When I peel that off, I notice that there's a spot on that right hand side that's kind of empty, and it needs a heart. So I'm trying to figure out where and which heart I'm going to go ahead and put on there. So I just do one little heart and I pull it off. I did have a little bit of a smear there, but that's okay. I'm going to cover it up with a little element. Now I've got it in my speckle box. I'm going to water down some of the ink on one of my stamping blocks. I'm just putting some ink on my block. I'm going to water it down with a little bit of water, and then I'm just going to spatter that all over my card. I'm also going to use some white opaque or some white acrylic paint. I'm going to go ahead and water that down also, and then I'm going to speckle my card with that and give it some nice texture. It was okay with me that I had the mechanism is fine getting speckled. I thought it would look weird if it was just completely void of any type of color. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry now. Cut 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's cut from chili pepper cardstock. I went ahead and cut a little tab out of that, so I'm using the arrow from that to fill in my tab so that stands out so people know what to do with the mechanism. I also put a piece of ballet cardstock in the back because I didn't want the porcupine. I didn't want him standing on a red background. I wanted him to be pink also. So I'm putting some foam dots on the back of that card. I also added some glue tape to those tabs, and I'm going to place that now on top of my card base, centering it on there. and it looks perfect. It's working just fine. I'm going to put a little heart in my little porcupine's hand. That one's cut out of glitter cardstock. It was just one that I had in my little bowl of goodies that I keep on my desk. I'm going to open up that iris and I'm going to glue him in there, just kind of centering him in that heart opening. I'm using the giant Be My Valentine for the sentiment on this card. I cut it out of white cardstock, and then I cut it in half. It just was too big to work on the upper or the bottom part of the card, so I just cut it in half. It did need a little bit of something. It was just too harsh, just straight white. So I'm going to shade just the bottom half of those letters with some Copic markers, and I'm using an RV00 and then an RV02 and an RV29, and I'm just kind of blending those colors together to give it an ombre type look. And then I just kind of put them close together and kind of just only go up halfway on each one of those letters. Just trying to make sure that I like those colors together on the one piece. And they seem to be fine. I like to cut up my my sentiments pretty often. Sometimes they're just too big to put in one spot on your card. And I personally like to use liquid glue for lettering. Actually, I use liquid glue for a lot of things. I find that it gives me a little bit of time to squish things around, and then it holds it pretty well. It also can be a pain because there's no forgiveness. I mean, at least with the glue tapes, you can use a undo remover to get them lifted, but I do like the liquid glue. It seems to hold better than the glue tapes. All right. So I'm going to put my little porcupine down there. I decided I liked him down there, the one looking to the side, a little bit better than the straight on one. That straight on one seemed a little bit redundant, so I'm going to put the one that's looking to the side. And then I had a little Valentine that I had already colored also that I'm going to go ahead and put next to him. So he's got a little Valentine. And then I also started digging through my little bowl of goodies there. I have, whenever I have extra hearts or stars or pieces, I like to just throw them in a little bowl and then I can just dig around to see what I can find. So I had some red glitter hearts and I had some white pixie dust hearts. So I went ahead and dug those out of that bowl, and luckily I had just enough to go ahead and sprinkle those around my card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on there also. I think those little porcupines are so cute. Okay, I'm going to use some stickles to go ahead and add some glitter to my letters. I have to be really careful with stickles because I tend to get way carried away with them. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the comment section to link to the Fawn original Magic Iris video. It's a great tutorial on how to put that mechanism together. I was very intimidated the very first time I put one of those together, but it's very helpful. Gives you a little bit of confidence when putting those cards together. I had a fantastic time today. I hope you did also. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.